Hello, everybody. Happy Sunday. Welcome to the live stream. Today, we're going to be looking at some heavily discounted homes, some that are over $90,000 off the price. We're going to be covering some really exciting unreleased communities, some tucked away, smaller communities, and then some huge master planned ones that are super exciting to me. So we're also going to be talking about schools in the area. So if you have kids that are looking to move here, I'm going to show you how to research like a local. We'll also be doing some Q&As, so who knows where we're going to end up in this live stream, but I'm excited. So to start off, let me know where you're watching from. If it's freezing, drop me a frozen emoji. And if it's not, let me know why you're looking at Central Florida. David, very good. Nice to see you again, my friend. Thank you. We got fun fact. My daughter is in that little video snapshot. And every time I see it, it makes me smile because it's like a little Easter egg for me. Perfect. Well, we've got some likes here. We got a lot to cover today, so let's get into it. But why don't we just go ahead and start with some of the deals of the week. And I'm going to be starting us off. The one house I was going to show, as soon as we were getting ready for this, I saw that it was already sold. So don't worry, there are a couple others that are going to be really, really good options as well, but not as much. We got Nathan here, cold and rainy in Virginia. And it's funny, right now it's actually a thunderstorm outside. So it is warm and rainy over here. So we will hopefully not be too, hopefully we don't lose anything, power or anything. Hi, Pinky Singh. Very nice to meet you. Thanks for joining us. All right. So we're going to talk about some of the deals of the week. We're starting off with Lakestar Ovation. Right now, they had a Wekiva that was like an absolute mind-blowing deal, but it's gone. But they have some other really good bungalows.
How much was it off?
It was $92,000 off the price, which was nutso. It was pretty much, it went really fast, but it was basically at base price. It was crazy. But these are some also really, really great deals for MI Homes, a phenomenal builder. These are bungalows, which means it's a single family home with the garage in the back, but they still offer some outdoor space. We have a Jensen floor plan, which is one of their models. We did do a video on this community, so if you're curious to see what that floor plan looks like, it is the second, or I think that was the first floor plan. It's one of the two. That one is discounted right now $550, which is a phenomenal deal for bungalows in Winter Garden. This is very close to the Disney area. So Jensen floor plan, it's a 3-bed, 3-bath. You also, let me give you some photos here. So these are some of the photos of the actual home for sale. Oh, I don't think I can swap it. It's not letting me. Hold on. There you go. I'm just going to have to do this. So you may think that bungalows sometimes don't have any backyard space. This is one that does because the garage is detached. So you do get a nice covered lanai and some grass space. Here's the view from the back. 2-car garage, dining space. It's got a really pretty wood plank tile, lots and lots of windows. That's really nice. Quartz in the bathrooms, in the kitchen, really pretty shower, laundry here, downstairs bath. So you get a half bath downstairs. Laundry room with a sink, tile to the ceiling for the shower. So some really nice options here for $550. Really, really nice. All right, and then the next one.
And $550 is really not common to find in.
Yeah, I mean these are in the 600s typically, so to find one at $550 is actually a really nice deal. But if you're looking for 4 bedrooms, their Sandestin is a really, really nice option. I believe this one has a virtual tour, so let's give you a little look of what it's like to live in. And these are 2,500 square feet. So you would think like a bungalow is tiny. It's really not. So here's one with lots of windows and this open concept. You got your kitchen, living room space over here. Stairs off to the middle, which is kind of unique. And then you have like your dining space more towards the back. This is cool little area there. You have is this a half bath? No, it's a full bath. Look at that. Full bathroom down here. So bedroom and bathroom downstairs. And this is a good size room. So you have a fourth bedroom here, and you do get some outdoor space. Whoops, not going to let me see it, but that's okay. We'll go upstairs. So this is a virtual walkthrough tour. So upstairs you get a loft plus an additional 3 bedrooms.
What's the price on this again?
Oh wait, let me see. This one is $575. So 3 good size rooms upstairs plus a loft plus the 4th bedroom downstairs. It's a really great price overall. $575 for a winter garden. And this community has no CBD, which we're going to talk about a little bit later. All right, so just some options there. Next up, we have, let's see, the St. Clair. So let's hop over to the St. Clair. This is a single story, single family in Harvest at Ovation. They haven't had any inventory for single families since probably about November or so. This is discounted about $50,000, give or take. Yeah, $50,000 from the total all-in price is $828, but they have it discounted now to $778. Remember, I can get you a better deal. But this is a 4-bedroom, 4.5 bath, 2,837 square feet on a single story. It's got a really nice overall layout. The shower in this like floor plan is incredible. And then, yeah, incentives, they have great interest rate promos. And then also getting closing costs covered. Look at the size of that pantry for those Costco runs. Office space as well. And yeah, just a big open concept with the tray ceiling. Here's some kind of renderings of like, let me see if I can find one in the bathroom. So, and it's like a 3-car garage. It's only a 2-car door, but it's a 3-car bay. They call this like the storage bay, but it's the size of a 3-car garage, which is fantastic. So this one does come with the epoxy floors, but let me see. Here it is. Look at that. That is a beautiful shower, if I may say. Double rain heads there, and then just pure glass. I mean, you really think that you're in a spa. You can walk into this bathroom. I love it very much. So really pretty tile. Looks like no carpet anywhere. It's all tile. So really great floor plan. This is the St. Clair at Harvest at Ovation. Also no CDD in this community as well. Very, very, very close to Flamingo Crossings at this location. All right, and then now let's jump over to Hills of Minneola, where they have currently an Avalon over there. Whoops, does it show where's the price? Yeah, so this one's discounted about $67,000 off the price. So originally priced at $762, it's down to $695. Probably get you something better on that one. That's a 3-car single story, beautiful double entry door. Let me see if they have just the floor plan, but this is that one with that wraparound kitchen. It's one of my favorite floor plans of theirs. It doesn't really show any pictures on this particular one, but they are offering, and if it's ready to go now, like they have interest rates as low as, like they basically do what's called a 3-1 buy down. First year interest rate 1.99, second year 2.99, third year 3.99, and then the 4th year on is 4.99, which is outstanding. So just to give you a reference, let me see. Well, let me give you, oops, wrong one. A reference of payments.
They said quick moving is the way to go.
Oh yes. Listen, if you want the most bang for your buck, like you can pick the floor plan, but if you're like flexible on upgrades and your move time is quick, you will absolutely save by the thousands of dollars and in getting off your payment. Like I've seen some discounts with the interest rate promos where you can literally save like $1,000 a month on the same house by just having the quick move in interest rate promo and the money off the house, because a lot of times they'll discount them. It's kind of like there's nothing wrong with the home, of course. It's just the fact that the builder has finished it and they want to move on with it because they want to make room for additional inventory. It's kind of like your clearance rack. It's still, perfectly new and works excellent, but they're just trying to get rid of it. And the longer it's there, the more they want to just get rid of it. And we can get you some great deals on it. But let's say, for example, just give you an estimate on this one. This was priced at, where is it? $695. So if you were to put, let's say, we'll just say 5% down, with the interest rate at 4.99, your monthly payment's $3,540. But if it's 3.99, it's $3,148. 2.99 is $2,780. And then that first year, 1.99, $2,437. So over the course of those 3 years, you're saving a crazy amount of interest because all of that is basically prepaid by the seller. So really great deal when they have those 3-1, or oftentimes it's a 2-1 buy down, but you can save a ton of money that way. All right. Let's see. Any more that we have? Oh, and then we have one for our 55 and over active adults. There is Webb Minneola has been coming in hot with some of these great deals. This is one that has $85,000 off the price. It's a Mystique Grand, which has the upstairs, and this one has a home site with some hillside views, which if you know, that has like it's pretty much sits at the top of the hill in Sugarloaf Mountain. But this one, $799. I mean, it definitely is on the pricier side, but you're saving $85,000 if you wanted to get like a super big home, 3,100 square feet. So definitely a really great deal on that one. Let me see if I can send.
What's the interest rate they're giving in their web?
Webb, not sure on the interest rate, but usually most of the builders are somewhere around the 4.99 is about the standard, unless they do something like the Lakestar Ovation. They're at 4.875, but most communities are going to be somewhere about 4.99. So those are some phenomenal deals for quick move-in homes, and we'll get to a little sneak thing, a little kind of like sneak peek about something else later in the community where you can get more updates on this type of information as I find it. We'll talk about that later. How about now we're going to talk about some. I have a question. I can't see it. Is Apopka nice? We're up in Ohio and looking. So great question. With Apopka right now, they are doing a huge master plan community called Wild Oaks, which I can send you the link to kind of give you some insight as to what the overall master plan is. But it's a very growing community. Right now, they're focusing on bringing in all the residential to help support the commercial that's planned. So over time, I mean, it kind of started with Apopka used to be very traditionally rural. It was a lot of like farmland and open spaces and things like that. And so now they're doing all this development, and it's kind of like an anchor city around the Orlando kind of general beltway, for lack of a better term. And so that's kind of like that northwest anchor as far as like the planned development. The hope for that area is to become the next Horizon West, which is what they're planning. So definitely we can talk more about that probably later on, or feel free to reach out and then I can kind of go more into detail because there's a lot to expound on in that. But yes, it's going to be really, really awesome, but it's more of a long-term project. So So yeah, if you have the patience for it, it's going to be phenomenal. Let's talk about unreleased communities. This is a question that I've gotten a bunch. So let's go to, let's see. First one we're going to be talking about. Let's see. This one is Lookout Ridge by Lennar Homes. So this is going to be over in the Sugarloaf Mountain area. So this is Sugarloaf Ridge is already there, but there's Lookout Ridge is up here on the left. So here's Del Webb is going to take over all of this space. So right now they have more phases planned for their community. So that's this green space here. Sugarloaf Ridge is in full effect, already being built out right there. And then Lookout Ridge is going to be a new home, which is kind of like going to be considered like their upper tier offerings. So that's going to be really exciting. It's going to be at one of the highest peaks, which is it's the Sugarloaf Mountain area. For those that are not really familiar, it's like one of the top 5 elevations in the state of Florida. So hitting at 312 feet above sea level, you get some incredible views. Definitely a sense of nature around there, although I'm sure a lot of that's changing over the next 5-10 years. But they'll still retain a lot of that privacy and luxury feel. So this is going to be a site that has 344 single family detached home sites. Lot sizes 45, 55, and 65 foot wide. So usually your estate homes are like 65 feet. So if you're looking for those 3-car garages, that's usually around where you want to be. It's going to be 78-acre conservation area, lots of nature trails. You'll be right below, like right above right below you is going to be the Hills of Minneola whole shopping center and everything over there. So that's going to be really cool. So as we get more information and as they are planning releasing, of course, we're going to be telling you all about it, and of course covering that once it's available. Then next up we have, let's see, Pine Ridge. So Tri-Point Homes is going to be another one. So this one is a new builder to the area. They just made their debut in the Orlando area. So they're slowly kind of coming on the scene. So hopefully I'll learn more about them and like kind of where they're from. But I have been starting to see more and more of their communities popping up. So this is going to be where they're going to do Pine Ridge at Sugarloaf. So they're going to be covering. So here's the Hancock area. So they're going to be just north of where it looks like north of Sugarloaf Ridge. So that's going to be starting, let's see, by mid 2026. So their grand opening planning for September of this year. So definitely more to come on this community. And then we've got, let's see, Whispering Winds at Sugarloaf. So this is going to be Stanley Martin. So if you don't know much about them, they are more of like kind of like an upper tier affordable builder. It's kind of how I describe them. I love selling their homes when I'm looking for clients that need a little bit more affordability, but they still want something nice. I love Stanley Martin. So they do a really great job of blending, like where it's still affordable, but it doesn't feel like builder grade entry level like some builders do. But so that's really exciting because they're going to be right there to the north of Del Webb as well. So there's a lot of growth happening in that general area. So yeah, stay tuned for that. That's going to be probably later this year. We'll find out and then let you know. And then we've got a couple more. Shepherd's Landing. That's going to be over in over by the turnpike, but let me see where exactly. Here you go. So off of Scrub J, which is kind of south of where the Hills of Minneola area is, kind of like a little bit further to the west. But that's going to be it'll have commercial space. They are trying to I think part of the discussions with the cities to kind of minimize the amount of homes that they bring to the area to help kind of like balance it out, because a lot of people have been saying like we don't want just like thousands and thousands of homes. So they're starting to scale it back and add more green space to help kind of keep a balance, which I like that. But yeah, you'll have single family, you'll have some commercial areas. So that's going to be another great community. Richland is the developer. So once they finish developing the land, then they partner with builders to basically take care of the sales side. So once those get announced, we'll definitely bring that information over. And then let's see what else we have. Oh, this one's a big one we've had. This is now moving over to the Groveland side. This was one of our questions we had that came up during, actually in our insider circle was one of the questions we had from one of our insiders. Information about the new Bright Hill development in Groveland. Yes, from Samantha. And so she's curious about what's going on with the Bright Hill development. This is just a couple weeks ago. It got approved. So it's rumored. So far, I haven't heard too much, but it's rumored that maybe Lennar and Taylor Morrison are going to partner up again in here and be the primary builders, but that remains to be seen. But if it's anything like Waterstone is a community that they did that with over also in Groveland, just a little bit further south. But that community, it's kind of more their entry level products. So, I mean, Lennar is going to be Lennar, but Taylor Morrison, if you're thinking like Harvest at Ovation, it's a completely different product line. This is more of their kind of like more affordable option. So that's.
Bring your page back.
And so Bright Hill is going to be a huge master plan community. This is just the first phase, but I believe they're going to have a total of 5 different phases, and they're going to be, this is a long-term plan that I think they have until 2039, which is huge. But that's going to be kind of like you see here. They're even incorporating it into the turnpike exit right there at Highway 19 and 27. They're going to make it really pretty. But you have all of this coming later on. So initially they were trying to go for 5,500 homes in that area, which I think got shot down. And then they came back to 2,961. So, which still sounds like a lot, but it's a lot better than 5,500, because then it allows reduced density, more green space, more, a lot of preservation that's going to be able to be kept. So here's the kind of like the overall phases that they have planned with the 5 total phases. So it's going to be all this green space and water. So they're going to keep like some of that. And then commercial space here in the red, which will be really nice to have really close by. And then, of course, you're right by the turnpike. So really good option there. And then this is probably sometime later this year. They're going to be prepping for it. They just got the approval for from the city, but it takes a while for them to start developing and then to start with releasing for my gosh, I can't talk. Releasing the lots for sale. So we'll keep you posted on that as we go. If we're moving on to the Claremont area, we've got, let's see. Oh, this is like the strategic plan. Here's Claremont. We've got this Green Mountain. Yes, Green Mountain. So this is if you want more of like an estates type home, this is kind of like $1 million neighborhoods, pretty much in the kind of right behind where the Costco is. So you see Plaza Colina, but you also have, it's kind of like right on the border of Winter Garden and Claremont. So over here is going to have total of 130 estate homes across 123 acres. They're going to be set on 75-foot wide lots, which is a pretty significant size. So these are going to be much larger homes. So that's going to be really nice looking. So here's kind of like the rendering of the estate lots, lots of cul-de-sacs, some oversized yards. Most not really having too many that back up to a neighbor, only just part of it. And then, yeah, so that's going to be exciting to see. Green Mart. And then let's see, the next one, this is another one that we have. Oh wait, no, before I get to the next one, let's talk about this one over here. Also this one's also, is this Minneola, Cypress? Yeah, Cypress Reserve, Groveland, sorry. But they got approval from Minneola, which is weird. But it's right on the border of Groveland and Minneola. So this is going to be right by the turnpike in Minneola, but just about like a mile and a quarter from Shepherd's Landing, which is that other community that's coming. This will have 221 single family lots proposed. Oh yeah, because this one is, I'm trying to see. Yeah, here's Shepherd's Landing. Oh wait, I'm talking about Cypress Reserve. This is Shepherd's Landing. Okay, hold on. I'm getting them mixed up. Is this the one?
Yes, that's Vanguard.
Vanguard. Hold on. But I was looking at Cypress Reserve. Is it this one? This one says Shepherd's Landing.
Yeah, that's.
Okay, I have them backwards.
Cypress Reserve is the one off of the turnpike.
Yeah, but there's also another one, Cypress Reserve. That's is it this one? No, this is Green Mountain. Anyways, I don't have the link, but there's another community with 221 homes coming just south of Max Hooks and Highway 50. So on kind of like Groveland on the border of Claremont, that one's going to be pretty nice as well. Then we've got Vanguard. So this is one that I've gotten a lot of questions about. This is a new Richland American community coming in Claremont. So Claremont proper. This is going to be getting, let me see here. So this is that little stretch. This is off of Heartland Marsh. So Heartwood Marsh, sorry. like having a moment. But this will be a brand new community. Richmond American typically does their seasons collection. Like most of their neighborhoods, if you notice, are like seasons at the Grove, seasons at, whatever. But this is their upper tier offering. So this is going to be very, very different than what you're used to with Richmond American. They haven't had one of these communities in a while. They used to have some way back when with in Claremont that had like tile roofs and just really estate size homes. These are going to be a much bigger, more upscale type homes. Most of the homes are going to be like 4,000 square feet and in that range. They will only have 5 floor plans available. Most of them are going to have 3-car garage options, gourmet kitchens. Their target opening date that they're planning is in summer of this year. So I found out one of my reps that I know from another community is going to be working in the community. So he's going to be getting me the inside scoop as that becomes available. So that's really, really exciting. Did you have something you were going to show on this one? No. Okay, that's all right. So then we have, let's see, couple little things that I don't have like the picture for, but 2 communities, because they're still under review. These are in Groveland. Lake Deacon will be kind of across from where Arborwood community was, off of Wilson Lake Parkway and West Libby Road. They will have 6 single family, 96 townhomes, and 8 live work residences. The live work thing is kind of being popularized in Groveland, where they're basically having townhomes that you can live upstairs and then downstairs have like storefront. So with that, you're not renting it out to like some random person. Like that has to be your own business. So if you're like a hairstylist, or maybe you want to have like a small coffee shop, or you sell stuff like woodworking stuff or whatever, whatever you do, then you can have that space. So that's going to be Lake Deacon. So I think it's up for approval for the in the city. And then Hazel Park will be a new community that's being proposed right next to where Rainwood is. So Rainwood just got approved for phase 2. So they're going to have 2 phases there. But right behind it will be Hazel Park. Not a whole lot of information on it yet, but I just see where it's coming. So all in all, there's going to be just a lot of more communities coming this year and in the years, coming in the area. Samantha, hey Samantha, are any of those floor plans in Vanguard multifamily? That remains to be seen. I don't know, but I will find out. I certainly, I got what you meant. So if there is state size homes, a lot of times no, but because that's been increasingly popular in the last few years, it would make a lot of sense that they would have some type of upgraded option, like structural change, that would be available. So I'll find out and see if I can get that to you.
Hey, look who popped in.
Who? Oh, there's one of our awesome agent partners, Isaac, saying hello. Isaac has been part of our team for I want to say like about 8 months now. He is an absolute rock star. We absolutely love him. Some of you have already worked with him as we tag team, and he is just really awesome and just a lot of fun to be around. So thanks for popping in, Isaac. Let's do a quick plug on another new community, and this will be our last point. Lake Haven Estates just opened up its doors yesterday. We just released the brand new video on the community. It's probably the fastest we've gotten one out, like right around the pre-sale opening. So if you are interested in Lake Haven Estates by Pulte over in the Wellness Way corridor, definitely check out the video that got released. Oh, wait, no, today it came out, right? Today. It came out today. I'm sorry. I don't even know what day it is. 2 hours ago. So definitely watch that video and let me know if you have questions. So with that, let's go into our next bit, advice from a new construction expert. So we're going to talk about each live stream. We try to give you like a new construction tip or pro tip, as I like to call them, on things that you should be considering if you're thinking about building or buying new construction. And one of the things I always advocate for every time I have a client, whether they're buying a quick move-in home or they're building from the ground up, I always advocate for you to get a private home inspection. I feel like that can be something that now it's, and I will just start with the preface by saying, building a home, it's built by human hands. There's never going to be 100% perfection because it's just built by, there's room for human error. That doesn't mean that the builder is not a good builder if there's things that get missed and whatnot. It just happens. There's room for that when there's so many moving parts. Having a home inspection just gives you that added peace of mind that you have someone there looking out for your best interest that is going to be just looking at it from a construction standpoint, a building code standpoint. They're checking, I'm not crawling into the attic for you to see if your trusses are nailed down properly. I know I do a lot of going above and beyond, but that's not one thing that I can do for you because I have no idea what I'd be looking at. But that's something that they're looking at. They're looking at if it has the right amount of insulation, if all the outlets are properly wired, things like that are things that can, or one of the things I see all the time, like an unlevel AC unit, that can, minimize your longevity of your AC unit, which is not good in Florida so anyways, so those are some things. And so I have a phenomenal inspector that I've been working with for many years now, who's been taking care of our clients just exceptionally well. And so he's kind of become his own little new construction expert as well, as he's done so many inspections with builders in all three phases that are optional. And so anyways, some of the stories that he's shared with me over the years, things like, granted, a lot of this was kind of during the pandemic and things were a bit crazier then, but hearing stories about how the builder completely forgot to put insulation in the attic, that's a huge miss. And I bet you that it was probably where oh, I thought you did it. No, I thought you did it. I don't know how that got missed, but it wasn't like a one-time thing because he found it in a couple times. Nowadays, I haven't seen that happen much, but a lot of times you'll see things where, okay, they just kind of did it. And remember, these are contractors that are just there to do a job, and they're just workers. And so they're rushing or it's getting late. So those are the kind of things that he helps provide accountability to the builders. And if it's not right, they will fix it. And that's the nice thing about having new construction. It's not an argument. So, but comment inspector, if you'd like me to bring my inspector on, my inspector team to do a special Q&A with some of your questions that you might have in my insider circle. So we decided we're probably going to do, we're going to plug this here in a second, but we're going to go ahead and say we would like to do a kind of like a free raffle, and we'll raffle off probably 2 final inspections to 2 people. So at 2 of our insiders, we're going to be, we're going to start. Oh my gosh, I'm totally like losing my mind, but we were going to give away 2 free inspections to 2 of our insiders in our insider circle sometime probably in the next week or so. With that said, let me talk about our insider circle. So I want to introduce the group. So we just started doing this. This is a very private, exclusive group to clients and future clients that are have the goal to buy a home here in the Central Florida area, whether it's within this next year or within a couple years, but want to get an inside scoop as to deals, new communities, things that are going on in the area, things that a lot of times we do post in our channel, but some of the things are like too secretive that I can't share publicly. And this is a place where we can give you that insider information. And then also to do giveaways, and it's fun stuff. So here's a QR code. If you would like to join, you just need to give this code word to get in this week will be love, because it was Valentine's Day yesterday.
If they're on their phone, I just drop the link into the comments.
If you are on a computer or your desktop, you can scan that. Otherwise, in the comments, if you're on your phone, in the comments will be the link that you can join from there too. So would love to see you on there.
Make sure you put in the secret word.
Yes. Oh, definitely make sure you give the secret code word, because this is so exclusive that you will be prompted to ask for the secret word, so that way we know that you are a viewer and not just some random person on Facebook.
There's only 50 slots left.
So we opened this up, was it 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
2 weeks ago. We have only 100 spots in this group, so we're trying to keep it, contained, but we are down to 50 spots left. So, and that's per family. So, if you have a spouse and you both want to be in the group, totally welcome. You guys count as 1 seat, but we have 50 seats left for our Oh, put that back up. Okay. There we go. So let's head into some Q&A. So some of our insiders gave us some really good questions. We're gonna get into. So let's start with Dylan. Dylan's one of our clients, and actually I will be seeing them in 2 days because they're coming into town. So excited for that. So he's saying, I think the health of the market would be good to cover. Sees so many conflicting reports, whether or not it's a good time to buy. Things are slowing down. I also see a lot, and it's probably more accurate, especially that in Florida, it depends on the location. Health of the market's hyper local. Condo market's very different. Yeah, it's very different. Ton of growth in the central. Regards to central-ish, heard some things about how Kissimmee is the next big thing. In terms of long-term investment, equity growth seems to be places like Minneola have more room and potential for growth that people are looking for. Okay, so very, very big question, but let's kind of try to break it down as best as we can here. Actually, let me see where we are. So really, as someone that has boots on the ground experience, and I've been doing this now almost 15 years, so I have kind of like some insights of just seeing the trends and seeing patterns. That's ultimately like I'm very analytical and a nerd about patterns. But data shows that the market is stabilizing. One of the things I talk about all the time with clients when we do consults, and I get this question a little bit, is I've noticed that in Central Florida specifically, and I guess to that point, when you hear news stories about Florida, Florida's a very large place. It's a very large state with a lot of metropolitan areas. You've got Jacksonville, you've got Tampa, Orlando, Miami, Fort Myers. So you have a lot of bigger metropolitans, and so all of them are completely different. So to lump, a lot of times data on like some of these sites will lump the whole state into one, and that just doesn't tell you anything. But here in Central Florida, because we've had such a huge boom with new construction, there is like almost like two separate markets that have formed out of one market, because you have like, on the one hand, you have a new construction market that is thriving and well. Then you have a resale market that's been very stagnant over the last 3 years as interest rates have tripled since around, 2022. So almost 4 years now, actually. But that market is starting to stabilize. So over the last year, we've seen a lot of decreasing prices in the resale market. And most of that's attributing to the growing demand of having to compete with new construction builders who are like the main competitors right now for sellers, like on the resale side. So it's kind of like two separate markets is what I see. But that doesn't mean you can't get great deals in both. It's been like pretty much a buyer's market, even though statistically and on paper, it's like technically a balanced market, which if you want to get to details and stuff, that'll be a conversation for another call. But it's really operating like a buyer's market, which means there's more sellers than there are buyers, and so it gives buyers the upper hand. Once like the market really stabilizes and you see the interest rates start to come down, you're going to see an increase in buyer demand, and eventually that, like right now it's like this, and then if it levels out or it goes up, that's where you're going to really see a complete change in the landscape as buyers start becoming more competitive. Now you're competing with offers. You're going to see less discounts, less like more full price offers or above asking offers. You're going to see no closing costs. Sometimes like back in the pandemic times when you were competing with 30 other offers, no inspections. At that point, you're probably going to have to be paying like all your closing costs, all your repairs. You're going to probably end up having to pay for your agent. Like it's in that sense, that's not a really great time for a buyer. And so on the sell, like right now, you kind of in that sweet spot before things really start to move. So I think in the long run, right now is like kind of a great time to get crazy good deals. And you may not even have to worry about interest rates for the long term, because a lot of these builders are providing interest rates where you wouldn't even have to refinance later. So it's really, I see that as a great opportunity before the rest of the world kind of wakes up and then starts to jump in, and then it gets crazy. All right. So that's a lot to unpack, but we can definitely talk more about that. So hopefully that's helpful. How about our next question?
There's some part to this question. I've heard some things about
Kissimmee. So Kissimmee, I haven't really seen a lot there. Kissimmee is really known for being close proximity to the parks, being close to like more like the tourist corridor, because most of 192 is in Kissimmee. That's where you see like Margaritaville, and you can even head over down to like Disney Springs area from there. So it caters to a different crowd. So people that want more residential feel are not like, Kissimmee is not going to be the long-term investment growth that you're talking about. I would say it has a lot of pros and cons, but the pro would be if you're looking for vacation rental type homes or homes that are really close proximity to Disney, then that definitely has good and long-term investment. But compared to Minneola is one like an area that's just exploding with growth. It has a huge commercial development that's planned, and that whole area is just like catering more towards like the family and like residential feel versus Kissimmee's that's going to be a lot more commercial and like tourist feel, if that makes sense. If I made a weird comment, disregard, lots going on. But yeah, no worries. Hopefully that helps answer some of those questions, Dylan. Thank you for sharing. All right, Crystal had a question around schools. So yes, as a realtor, I can't be like, oh, this is a good school and that's not a good school. But I can just say in general, it can give you information about statistics. And I mean, overall, I'm biased. I think all of Lake County schools are fantastic. But what resources do families use to determine good schools that fits there? What best schools are in Claremont, Groveland? Oh, what's going on here? Oh, there we go. And then do you know families who would consider sharing personal experiences with schools there, middle and high school specifically? And then rental home apartment for 6 months a year in school zone. Yes. So absolutely. You can do some short-term rental homes and be in the same school zone. But pretty much once you're in a school, you don't have to switch schools because we have that school of choice. But let's talk about this question. So one of the things, let me see here. So if you want to switch over to this, most of Lake County schools, or the Lake County school system, it has been rated A from the state. So it doubles its number of A-rated schools in just the last couple of years. Cypress Ridge Elementary has had a continuous streak of an A grade since 2018. That's a very popular school here in downtown Claremont. Love that school. And then East Ridge Middle School streak has started as an A school since 2017. So there's some of the ones that affect like the South Lake County area. But this is a really great option there. But then you have some options here where you can learn more about from the Florida Department of Education, where you can get state report cards, district and like specific school report cards. So we can link these links for you in the comments. But this is a really good, like straight from the source, Florida Department of Education, to get information about specific schools. But
you go to school report card?
Yeah, the school report cards, and then you can
in whatever school you're interested
it's
in.
Lake County, and then you just pick out what, like East Ridge Middle School, and you can view the school report card, and it shows you kind of like what it's been, the percentage tested,
A whole bunch of data.
a whole lot of stuff, graduation information, attendance, acceleration, English language learners, long-term goals. So you can find a lot here. It'll also tell you if it's a charter school or a Title I school. So really cool website there. So that should be helpful. And then that's like a primary resource. Then you also have secondary resources like greatschools.org. That's one where you can type in the school, you can search the school by address, and you can get, let's see if we do like high school in Minneola. So like Lake Minneola High School, East Ridge High School. And granted, a lot of these you kind of have to look into because Lake Minneola High School is a very popular high school here in the area. And so you kind of have to look at what they're using for their scoring, because sometimes it's relevant, sometimes it's not. But there you can go to find out what parents are saying about the school. And ultimately, one of the best places to go is Word of Mouth Claremont. So if you're on Facebook, here in the Claremont area, we have a like gazillion different Facebook groups great way to feel connected to the community and learn a little bit more about what's going on. You can easily just make a comment, one of those, and say, hey, I'm looking into these schools, or what schools do you recommend, or which schools you love. And if you want to get unfiltered opinions about the schools, the teachers, and just the overall programs at the school, that's a great way to just hear it straight from the parents. So here's a here's a one that we're looking at. So elementary.
This is how you get info like a local.
Yeah, this is really how you find out information like a local. And these groups are fantastic for being able to, tell you, just search like, good schools or something. People will ask a question and then just be like, what do you think? And people ask, yeah, I don't know.
I don't know why it's not pulling up. Usually, like, there's hundreds of comments.
Well, yeah, there's a lot. But that's just search for what were the best schools, and you can hear it directly from the locals. So, yeah, word of mouth, Claremont's a great group. All right, but there's also a lot of schools planned for the area, which is really exciting. We've got in the Wellness Way corridor 2 schools planning, although one of them is like the high school. They're not 100% sure where it's going to go. But the elementary school, K through 8, so elementary and middle, there's one opening up in 2029 in Wellness Way area. But they're also planning a new South Lake High School that will be somewhere in that vicinity also in 2028. So, and then sometime in the next 2 years, but they're probably going to have to figure out where they're going to put it because they got to start building it. Plus, they're going to be renovating and expanding a lot of existing schools. And then you also have the option of school of choice, which is a phenomenal thing here in Florida. If you are zoned for one school, like for us, for example, we're zoned for, I think, Groveland Elementary. No, we're Aurelia Cole Academy. And so we wanted our kids to go to a charter school. Well, technically it's a magnet school. So we had to apply for the lottery to get in. But as long as there's space available and you can take your child to school, essentially, then you can get in with a school of choice voucher. So if you're a new resident, there's 2 windows to apply for school choice. Current residents is usually February to April. Second window opens up in June. And so supplemental applications, if you miss the June window, because if your move isn't finalized, Lake County opens a supplemental application period opening in late July. But that is processed as a first come, first serve basis. Important thing to note about this is that once you have a contract pending on your home, you can register your kids for school. You don't have to be in your house living there yet. So like I've had plenty of clients that opened up, I did a contract, went under contract, and then they were able to go and get their kids registered right away. And you can just show that, we're buying a home and it's going to be there. So that's great. And then as far as the lottery-based schools, we have a ton of charter schools and other magnet type schools. Once you get your kid applied, once you apply and get one kid in, so say you're bringing in a first grader, and then in a couple years you'll have a sibling. The siblings automatically, if you have one kid enrolled, all siblings just come automatically. If you are moving to the area and have a couple kids to bring into the school, if one of them gets in, then you will have the second ones get priority. So they kind of get bumped to the front of the line. It doesn't mean they're guaranteed a spot, but they'll get moved up. So really, really good information. Next up, let's go on to, here's the fun stuff. David had a question about list of communities that use golf carts. So let's talk about those. So especially ones that have access to shopping with the carts. So it is a short list on the second part of that question, but the first part, and I even threw in a different a resale community, but it's a really nice one in, you know, a little more established. But Legends is one in Claremont. It's a golf course community here in town. Of course, lots of golf cart usage in there. Esplanade at McKinnon Groves will have access with golf carts. Now, keep in mind, anything that's a big master plan community that has a lot of amenities, you will absolutely be seeing residents driving around in golf carts, but they can't leave the community. That's the caveat. So the ones that I'm mentioning here, you can definitely have a golf cart to drive around, but you just can't leave the community. Esplanade, McKinnon Groves, Lake Haven Estates, Parkside Trails, Trinity Lakes over on the Groveland side. And then the ones that you can have access to driving to your shopping areas, the one and only Hills of Minneola. So that one is definitely one of my absolute favorites because you'll have a tunnel that you can cross the street into all the shopping and dining and all that fun stuff. You can even go grocery shopping. There'll be a grocery store over there. So that one's definitely the first of its kind in the Claremont Minneola area. But once Reflections at Olympus opens up, because right now David Weekley is the exclusive builder inside Olympus project. All the other communities are out in the vicinity. They will absolutely have probably access with golf carts there. And then just outside of that area, you have Ridgeview and Wellness Ridge that are connected to the Olympus project, but you know, just outside. Most of those will likely be able to drive your golf cart because you're not leaving the overall area. But that's it. That as far as I know. So hopefully that was helpful. Leanne, so non-CDD communities. So with that, I have actually a pretty big list on that. So this was a fun one to work out. So in no particular, so a CDD, for those of you that are not aware, is a community development district. Now, a lot of times I feel like a lot of the Northerners, which are not quite familiar with how CDDs work, kind of can get spooked with hearing about CDD. I don't know what kind of information has been out there about it, but here a CDD works and operates very similarly to an HOA in the sense that it maintains the community for usually like master plan communities. So, and a lot of times when there is a CDD, the HOA fee is often lowered. So that way the majority of like your HOA is covered through the CDD. So it's not necessarily a bad thing. It just depends on the value that CDD brings. But with that said, if you want a community that does not have a CDD, but does still have an HOA, because you can't get past that unless you're up in Ocala. Ridgeview, Parkview at the Hills in Minneola, Ridgeview being Claremont, Waterbrook in Claremont, Blue Springs Reserve in Groveland, that's a townhome community, Rainwood in Groveland, Willow Ridge in Montverde, Harvest at Ovation, Lakestar at Ovation, North Lake at Ovation, and Serenade at Ovation, all Winter Garden, Osprey Ranch, also Winter Garden, Avalon Woods, Winter Garden, Hamlin Meadows, Winter Garden. Winter Garden is a pretty much, other than Waterley, I'm pretty sure none of those communities have any CDDs. Villa Pass over in Mascot, awesome community, no CDD there. Sunset Lake Estates, also in Mascot.
Just reach out.
And then Vintner Reserve. So yes, so if you want to know about any of those, just reach out. But that was fun. I got to really like go down and just kind of like put together. Got a comment, Rick Knights. Hello, we love your videos. We'll be calling you next year when we're ready to move. Awesome, Rick. Definitely would love to talk, but definitely join the inner circle while between now and then. You'll have a lot of great insider information, so you can just keep a pulse on what's going on here and also get some free perks or great perks. So awesome. Thanks for the shout out. Let's see, what's that? That's it? How are we on time? Oh my gosh. That is absolutely a first. I feel like I've talked a lot. We didn't have a lot of I know usually we'll have like some kind of fun video. I guess I would say usually we have like a trip that we just did, but we haven't done any. I am leaving this week and I'm flying to my parents' home country of Uruguay. So that's going to be exciting. So hopefully I'll have maybe some kind of video to post for next live stream. But I haven't been there since I was 10 years old. So it's like a little like I feel like I'm like a giddy child waiting for like Christmas or something because I'm really excited about the food. Yeah, the food in that country is, if you think Brazilian steakhouses, that's like the food of Uruguay. Like Uruguay and Argentina are pretty much like sister kind of countries. So they have like same dialect, same food. If you hear like chimichurri steak, that is a Uruguay thing. So you're welcome. So I'm super, super excited about that. I'm gonna get to see some family I haven't seen in a long time. And I'm going to be eating empanadas and parrillada like pretty much the whole time. So my husband, my parents, yes, my husband does not like, I could eat steak for breakfast, lunch, and dinner and be just so happy because I identify as a meatitarian. My husband's like, okay, I'm over it for like, eats it once for the week and he's good. So I'm gonna just live it up because I'm just going with my mom on a quick trip to see a family member. So yeah, so that'll be exciting. And then what else? Yeah. We always talk about shows. Can we just talk about a new show that we just finished that I've been obsessed over? So we're kind of gearing up for the Kimberly's carnivore too. We're gonna have to definitely eat some steak. But and Samantha, I know she's coming right after I leave because I'm leaving on Thursday. She'll be here Friday, but you're gonna have a blast with Isaac. And then I will see you when I get back. So don't worry, I'll see you. But yeah, so I've been a huge fan of Outlander for all these years, and it's a really fun show where I've gotten to like really kind of take a trip through history, which is probably why I love historical type shows because I like learning through like visual, reenactments and things like that. So I've been kind of like in Droughtlander season as we've been waiting for what seems like years for the season finale, the series finale that's coming up next month. But then we found out about this prequel series called Blood of My Blood, which turns out it's the story of the parents. Not that the parents got together, don't get me wrong there, but it's got the story of Claire's parents and the story of Jamie's parents, and it just talks about their like love stories, and I loved it. Probably a little too much. My husband kept like talking about, of course, who's not gonna fall in love with chiseled jaw. So he kept making it was really funny. So anyways, but yes, I loved the series. They have the first the first season already complete and out there to watch. Highly recommend it. It was fantastic. Learn a lot about Clan Fraser. Clan Mackenzie was a fictional clan apparently, but Clan Fraser was a historical one. So, and Lord Lovett was a real person. So I love figuring out like what's real and what's like embellished. So we got Milan, and I'm trying to think. He helped us in November. Oh, awesome. So I'm trying to think who this is because I probably know who this is, but I can't tell from the name or the picture. But yes, Isaac is phenomenal. Like you're gonna have so much fun, Samantha. So, anyways, good shows. Definitely, we're looking forward to. I've got Sam and Ricky. Oh my gosh, yes. So yes, he is a lot of fun. Yeah, he took them out as well. But I guess on that we're gonna end. So definitely check out Insider Circle if you're not already part of that. And I'm always available for questions. Just reach out. And if you're thinking of any good shows, definitely let me know because I'm like about to be out of stuff to watch because we just finished
We're
House
about
of
to do
Asher.
Knights.
Oh, we're gonna be. That's right. I forgot. Knights of the Seven Kingdom. I'm waiting. We're waiting to strategically start that one when it's a little further along, so that way we can binge. Because I don't like having to wait like so long to find out what happens. So but I've heard some good things about it. And Game of Thrones was my absolute favorite show ever. So if it's anything like that. Anybody waiting on House of the Dragon? Anyone was a fan of that one? Because that show is awesome. I actually got to meet the actors that played Damon and Sir Crispy, as we call him, Sir Christian Cole. We met them last year at MegaCon, which was really exciting. They were super cool. The Pit, Sam, HBO Max current show. That's the one with the hospital, right? The one with like the what's that guy's name? I forget, but I know him from somewhere. Yes, that guy. Isn't it about like hospital, like an ER situation? It looks interesting. And David's still telling me about Breaking Bad. I just keep it going so that way I'll eventually jump into that one. It's on the list. I will say that, David. It's on the list for sure. And then we got to add The Pit. That does look interesting. I did love ER back in the day to be able to. You can't watch that stuff? I do have a stronger stomach with stuff like that. They don't focus on the guts. They focus on the drama. The drama of like when stuff hits the fan and they gotta run and get everybody put back together. We always joke about how I like to. I mean, my former career was in crime. I was a crime analyst for police, and I did criminal investigations and helped with like piecing together trends and patterns of behavior in like my city. And so, and my degree is in forensic psychology, which is like the criminal mind. So like for me, like shows like Criminal Minds and things like that are kind of like what I went to school for. So, and as a realtor, if you kind of like, if you've worked with me in the past, like you kind of, like I kind of view it all as an investigation. So I kind of I put things together like a puzzle, and that's what makes me, I feel like, really effective at finding the right, like the missing piece to make it a perfect match. But anyways, I liked watching stuff like that. I watch a lot of like court cases and documentaries and stuff. So my husband's always like, man, I just forgot that I'm on your YouTube because it's about like homicides and like disappearances and all this like weird stuff. He always gets on me about, but apparently it's a woman thing because a lot of us ladies are very much like watching these crime dramas, and apparently it's a girl thing. So not just me. But all right. Well, with that, we are going to be calling it a night. So thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out. If you are watching this after the live stream, thanks for sticking around this far. And hopefully I will see you guys in the insider circle with some amazing deals to be found. So you guys have a great night.